In. Mystic West gonna be playing Edith Finch. Here we go. I've had this on here for a while. Trying to get through all of my games. I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy, which was really good. Let's go ahead and try this game out. It's got pretty good ratings. Let's see. Press any button. Ooh, Annapurna? Yeah. Damn, that's just loud. All right.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Oh. With the house.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Well, damn.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I like it. I don't need subtitles because I can just read it on the
No
screen.
one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
It's a little fuzzy though. Like turning. Well, looks alright on the stream.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Somehow she breaks her hand.
The house was exactly like I remembered it.
Gosh,
the
what a
way I'd been
huge
dreaming about
house.
it.
What an interesting looking.
As a child,
What's up,
the
Rez?
house made me
How you doing?
uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh, here's a ramp for handicap.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Wow. What you up to, Rez? Let me go around the back.
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
It's kind of interesting because it's kind of...
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Because I guess with some things you just got to go into it. It doesn't... The buttons situation is interesting. It kind of just throws you into the game. See, that is a...
Years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Yeah. That's a lot of cans.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing
Suicidal
that my brother Milton was
biohazard?
alive.
I don't know. What do you mean by biohazard?
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Like Resident Evil biohazard? I don't know. I guess it's like...
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
I don't think it's suicidal, but I gotta figure out...
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
It started off like...
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
I was just like at a bus stop, and I had a broken arm, or like in a cast, and then I had a book that said Edith Finch. It was like a journal, and then she opens it, and then it like starts me right outside of the house. But this game is by Annapurna. You've heard of that company? Like they make a lot of scary movies. I don't know when this came out. I've had it in my Game Pass library forever.
Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Just because it got really good.
Retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Because it got really good reviews. And it's only like a couple hours long, so I was like...
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother,
What the fuck?
Calvin. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
What? Yeah, that is weird. Look at this. It's a sealed room. I didn't know I could look in the one downstairs. 11 years old. 1 year. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Yeah. She was a movie star.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Ooh. She was a child star, but she still got locked in a room, huh? Dude, this house is crazy. Look at this. Just random wine. Books everywhere. Just let me look at every level. I missed that door downstairs. I'm kind of curious about it. Molly, 10 years.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Ooh, the key. 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Ooh.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Oh my gosh.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
That was a biohazard reference?
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
I like how the words are just popping up everywhere, though. That's pretty cool.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh, it's an ant thing. I had one of those. Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
What?
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
I thought I was gonna... That was a carrot. That wasn't that bad. Uh-oh. What you gonna eat? Toothpaste?
I kept eating and eating.
Oh my gosh. Poop? Oh. Is there anything else to eat? The fish!
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Oh man. She must have been hungry. Pumpkin.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
What?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Well, this is kind of cool. Come here, bird.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh. Yeah, it's because they're banging. I'm afraid I'm gonna fall. but I feel like
The babies were all gone. I jumped and I almost got her.
oh my gosh, come on.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Wow.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
That was an owl.
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Ooh. I'm an owl. Hooty hoo.
Rabbits.
Get it. Did I get it? Oh my gosh, I got a rabbit.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I
Wow.
flew off to find something bigger.
Something bigger than a rabbit? What would be bigger than a rabbit that an owl would eat? I said rabbit.
A mama rabbit.
A mama rabbit.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What? That don't make no sense. I'm a stupid shark. Come on, let's make it to the water. Oh!
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean.
There we go.
Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Ow. Ooh, right in the tail.
Tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Oh, damn. Tore off her flipper. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm coming for you. Oh. Where'd it go?
Grabbed on tight. And when I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
I'm a freaking squid.
monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Hmm.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Wow.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have.
This bitch is
so
hungry.
I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
A toilet. Oh, I bet I'm gonna eat her freaking mom and dad.
I got closer and closer.
Wait, this is my room.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything.
What?
I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Wow.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
That was pretty cool. Come here, cat.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
A dragon-shaped slide.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington
Oh my God.
send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Orcas Island.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh yeah, you can't go through there. Ooh. Look at this bathroom floor.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
There's a secret in the bathroom. So that one key opens all the locks, huh?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
What? Well, that's cool.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch.
Ooh, wow.
The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
He's got a broken foot. What's up with all these broken bones and crap? Oh.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Ooh.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm
Uh-oh.
not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh my gosh. I almost made it. Go around. We made it.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Ooh, wow. Oh.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
That's cool. All these like secret compartments.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
I like that they have all the
As a
audio.
child star, Barbara was
Like the voice
famous
actors.
for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just to boost her career.
For her scream?
Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Whoa.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
That music, though. Uh-oh. Skate.
Walter, are you there? Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Run. Or am I gonna go hit him again, I think? Oh, he's gone.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
What?
Oh dear.
The monster is her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous.
What?
Final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
What?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Wow.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
I think I need to go. Yeah.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Oh. It's so dark.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once,
Yeah, it's so dark in
carrying
here.
packages.
Oh yeah.
I
the
thought maybe she was hiding
refrigerator.
presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
1976 to 2005.
Maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Oh.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with 1 year day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
What? So he got freed and then got hit by a car,
Walter
train.
died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Hello. Gopnik? Gopnik?
But I thought you should know about your family.
How are you?
And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
For real.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
You're sad I finished this game a couple hours ago. It's a good game. It's pretty good so far. Like,
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom.
I think
now.
I'm about halfway done.
Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Okay, well, I am going to have to take a quick break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I need to give my dog some medicine. So I'm going to put it on the Be Right Back screen. It's just some little stupid clips of me singing and making up crap while I'm in the game. I'll be right back. Butter on the floor. Butter butter. He's gonna save it for later and pick it up off the floor. He's gonna clean it up, 'cause he's gonna want more later. Goddamn fat ass cat. But I love his fat ass. Yeah. Fat ass fucking cat. Yes, I think I got it. Nice. Get that fish dick out of my mouth. No gay fish around here. Only cis fish, only straight fish, no gay fish. Up in this bitch. Thank you guys. That was tough. Here we go, number 2. Get that gay fish dick out of my mouth. Come on, one more hit. Thank you very much. Finish.
You have been finished.
Thank you. Woo! Damn. Let's see what else I got up in here. I use chromatic. No, I don't like that shit. I'm moist. I'm so moist.
I'm so moist. I'm moist in my panties for you.
Girl, I'm gonna make you so moist.
How moist are you gonna make me?
I'm gonna make you so wet. You're gonna be the opposite of dry.
Oh, that sounds really wet.
Damn right, girl. The opposite of dry. That's how wet you're gonna get. Who let the dogs out? I need to let my dogs out. Oh, when I let my dogs out, I need to be on the lookout. 'Cause sometimes I see that old man driving up and down the street in his wheelchair. He always looks at me. Now I'm thinking that he wants to jerk off me. Handicapped man driving down the street. He's always looking at me. I got my dogs. I'm glad I got my dogs to bark at him, to keep him away. 'Cause I don't want no handicapped hand job. I got a wife for that. I got a wife for that. She can give me a hand job anytime I want. I just gotta say hey. And then she says,
Is it that time?
I say, yeah, it's that time.
She said, okay, let me lube up my hand. That's supposed to be spit on my hand. I said,
Oh yeah, girl.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it too.
I know you do.
I know I do. I know I like jerking off you.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense when you're trying to rhyme, trying to rhyme.
Trying to get in the hand job from my wife like, Timmy!
on my dick. Hello.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ooh. Prego. Playing this game, you sound so far away. That's better. What are you doing? Elden Ring?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
It's what? Oh, yeah.
They were both pretty intense.
Already?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? What? Am I gonna have to
Oh,
shoot
okay.
anything?
It's a honey. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
The story?
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Aw.
What? She's just been playing that. Nice. I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's on Xbox too. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. It's a pretty good story. I mean, it was kind of like one of the movies, just like really long, you know? It's like 20 hours or some shit. Maybe not. I didn't feel like 20 hours, but I read and it said it was 25 to 30 hours, but it might have been. I mean, it took me, I feel like it was more like 10 hours. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah. It's on Game Pass, I think. I had it on PlayStation before they put it on Game Pass. What the hell am I supposed to take a picture of? I'm playing this game right now. It's called like What Remains of Edith Finch. And it's on Game Pass, and I've had it, you know, downloaded for a while because it got good reviews. It's pretty good so far. It's an interesting. It's only like a few hours long apparently, but it's about a girl that she's like went back to her childhood house, but like everybody's dead, and she's kind of like going through each one of the rooms. But like all the rooms were like locked. It was kind of weird. And right now I'm like supposed to take a picture of something but I'm not really sure of what. Yeah, like I don't know. Unless I'm supposed to. Well, it's basically like I mean, it's not necessarily a lot of gameplay. But there was like a scene where you were like a girl, and it kind of, she was like a scary movie, like child star. And when you play like her turn, you're like, it's like a comic book where it's kind of like each page, it kind of like reads it to you, but then a couple of them you like play. But right now, I'm in like a flashback, and I'm the girl Molly or whatever her name is, and I have a camera, and I'm supposed to take a picture of something to like continue. Like maybe I'm supposed to take a picture of the. I don't know. This is kind of annoying. I'm about to just like look online and be like, what am I supposed to take a picture of? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Should not have drunk all that coffee.
Wow.
Hey!
That's a cute.
You think it's gonna get Game of the Year?
I want to take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
Yeah, they're making another one, aren't they?
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a
Yeah,
buck for you.
I think they had like a. No, I'm pretty sure there's a new one coming out.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad.
Yeah.
Let me get behind you.
Well, I found out what I was supposed to take a picture of.
Do I have to do this?
It was the dad peeing.
Great shot, Don.
Yeah, he was like peeing like in the woods somewhere.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
I just killed a deer. Now I just set up the camera.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
She's
normal.
crying because she killed a deer.
Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Oh shit! Oh, so the dad, the girl shot a buck, right?
That's
And
the
so
one I wish most that my mom had told me.
the dad, like the girl was like sad crying over the deer, and it was like on like a hill, like a cliff, right? And so the dad like sets up the camera to like take a picture of the two of them. He walks over and she's like, "It's twitching," and then it like knocks his ass off the cliff. It was freaking crazy. What made me want to play it? It got good reviews and it looked interesting. And it was on Game Pass because I was trying to find, and it was only like a few hours long, so I was like, all right. But it's interesting. It's basically like a story game, which, you know, I like those. It's
After
not
Sam died,
a lot of gameplay.
my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
You're just sort of walking through this house, but it's kind of cool how like every time the girl talks, she's like reading from a diary, and like the words will just like appear, like all over different places of where you are. And I guess you're basically just like finding out what happened to her family, because she's the last one
Dear
alive.
Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening.
It's all voice acting too, so instead of just like reading all of it, like now I'm a baby
I think
in
he
a
saw
bathtub.
things the rest of us don't.
I'm playing with a frog.
Gregory, it's time.
What'd you say?
Hold on, sweetie.
Hello?
I don't really know what games came out. I thought they already had the
Right now.
didn't they already have the Game Awards?
What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
Yeah, I wanted to play that. It's a PlayStation exclusive. The first one was pretty good.
Whatever it was, he saw.
It's been out for a while. I thought. This game is so trippy.
It sure made him happy.
Huh? What game? Is that the one? Oh, yeah. You're like,
I know how silly it sounds.
yeah.
But I worried about a baby being too happy.
Isn't it,
But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
yeah, I remember seeing something about that. I think that same guy who made that game, he made another, like, 2-player co-op game. You had to, like, escape. Jail.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Like, I think it's called Prison Break? I don't know what it was. Oh my gosh.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory,
Dude, this game is just a trip.
about everything.
I think I was just a baby that died in the bathtub.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Sam.
What's Emma doing?
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus,
Oh,
who
yeah?
always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Yeah, it's supposed to be next year.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I know.
What'd you say?
Husband and wife. Make this
What games? Why's that? Yeah. That's true. I mean, there's no story, so.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked.
I mean, I thought it was about a book or something.
But all the
Like,
humans
wasn't
did
it
that day
something
was go inside the
George R.R. Martin? Wasn't it something having to do with him? I could have sworn it was based off of like
The rain came down in buckets.
something
but
from
no one
him.
seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
That's what I thought it was. Like, it was supposed to be about like the world of like from one of the books he made. I thought it was supposed to be like in that world, but there's not really a story. Cause I remember hearing something.
Thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
Something about where like he was involved with it, and he said like he just thought it looked really good, and he couldn't believe what they did with like this. What I don't know. I just remember like when it came out, I saw something related to the game.
Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
And George R.R. Martin.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom
Until he
moved to
can't-
India a week
until
after
he can't finish
graduation
them.
and got a job teaching English.
I mean, probably by
Willis was
that point he
born
didn't
a year
really
later.
need to.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
You're maidenless? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Nice. I mean, what else?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
I mean, what else would you do if you didn't have a maiden?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
I mean, this game is pretty interesting, I will say. I mean, I would recommend Guardians of the Galaxy if you need a game to play after Elden Ring, because it's on Game Pass. Well, depending on which ones you have or haven't played.
Found in the house. Mom didn't want it getting out.
That one's fairly new on Game Pass. That's pretty good. The gameplay, you know, was pretty good. Boss fights and everything.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
I don't think so.
and things that have not names. He knew it
We
was
got a
all
new
in his head.
kitten.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Kind of like Whitey, a little bit. Somebody gave it to him.
But he found something more.
Whitey.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss.
It's a pretty nice cat.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Dude, what the heck?
So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Dude, this game is crazy, man.
St. Louis. He started drifting.
I mean,
away
I
from
like
our
it.
reality.
It's very interesting to me. But so yeah, I mean, I guess it's
Minneapolis.
fun to me.
Until
I mean,
one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
it's very interesting how they like
Even as his mother pleaded with him.
put the
part of
story,
Louis went sailing on.
like the gameplay with the story. I mean, I'm literally like cutting fish's heads off with one hand, but like on part of the screen, it's like another world. Like, it's really hard to explain.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Like, because the guy that I am right now, like, it's a psychiatrist who's reading her notes. And she's talking about how this guy has,
The queen was on her own quest for
how he's got a crazy imagination, but he's, like, working at a
Radiant
fish plant. So he has to, like, cut fish heads off and put them on this conveyor belt. So you have to, like, keep doing that. But then, like, in the left side of the screen, it's like his imagination.
He followed the sound of
If
her.
that makes sense. Well, no, I'm like
Silver
using the
Hawk.
right analog stick to cut the fish heads. And then the left analog stick right now, I'm like a boat traveling in a bunch of water. It's like his imagination, but you can like see the real world in the part of the
chase led
screen,
him
and
to
then
a
you can see
golden
like what
palace
he's
east of the
imagining
sun
in the
and
other
west of
part
the
of the
moon.
screen.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Yeah, he's
He knew the world was all in his
cutting all the
imagination.
fish heads off. Like, I still am doing that. That's like the real world, but then I'm like, he's a prince or something in this imagination world that I'm controlling him as well.
But he was so proud of having created it.
But I'm still like cutting all these fish heads off while I'm walking
in his
around
own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
in this other world. Yeah, no, this is, I've never seen
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think
anything
it
like
was
this before.
overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping
That's just this
salmon,
part of the game.
but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Like I'm a prince right now in his imagination.
My imagination
I'm
is as
cutting
real as
fish
my
heads
body,
off.
he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Yeah. Wow. But
We began to
apparently,
forget the world we know.
when I went to his room, there was like weed in there, and they were like, "Oh, he's in rehab for substance abuse," and I was just like,
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, a
"For
tannery
weed?
lad.
I don't know about that. Oh, substance abuse?"
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
But this game is by Annapurna, so it's not really scary, but it's sort of like,
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
it's not really scary, but Annapurna is a film company that makes a lot of like scary and thriller kind of movies. And they make a lot of interactive video games now that are kind of like, I don't know if you'd call them scary, but I wish I could think of a movie off the top of my head that they...
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Oh my god, he's about to get his head
There
cut
was
off.
only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
This is crazy. I'm about to die.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
So confused.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh yeah.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
What?
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
What level are you?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. What was to tell you about that last night?
Ooh. I'm about to find out what happened to Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
What?
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
No, I have The Witcher 3. Just haven't played it yet. Once I found out that you could play the other two.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Mm-hmm.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
No, I have it on PS4.
The lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen that house every day of my life.
I mean, there might be a free upgrade for it. Sometimes they upgrade to the PS5 or Xbox Series X version.
Thought I'd go back to it.
For free.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, DeFore? You knew a guy in high school that wore gloves like hers? Helped him fight? How are you?
I got turned around. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
You're good, got a new job, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, just got home from celebrating. Nice. You still doing the,
That night, a lot of things came back.
podcast and everything as well, on top of that?
Or maybe I came back to them.
But yeah. Well, I bought, I'll probably play it on the PC, because I found I think it was like $2 for each of them or something.
Can't explain, but
The Witcher 1 and 2.
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
I don't know. I
Mom,
haven't
you're
played
gonna
them
rip
yet.
it. Let go.
You can actually buy The Witcher 2
I kicked
on
and screamed, but
Xbox right now. It was
Mom
on
dragged me
sale.
to the
It
car.
was like $2.50 or something. It's like
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Witcher 2 was on Xbox 360.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already
So yeah, a while ago, before Xbox One, even.
After that, we moved around a lot.
And The Witcher was on PC. Well, 360 graphics.
We both tried to make the best of it.
You finished season 1 of Podcast Done for a couple months. Nice. Look at me.
A few years
It's my
went by.
hand. I want to watch it. We started to with Wendy, but I don't know if she was really
My mom didn't like to talk about it,
feeling it or not.
but she started getting sick a lot.
Like, part of
rest
the first
happened pretty
episode.
quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
So you start your job this coming
Strange and
Monday?
brief all of this is.
Congrats, dude. I'm like, my brother's in my headphones, and then I'm like listening to the game, and then I'm still, so I got a lot going on.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
I feel like I'm coming out of a vagina.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be here to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. I think I just finished the game. Yeah, it was about an hour and a half. I think that's how long it took to beat this. I think I just beat it. I unlocked one achievement. Because it was a part of the game where I like turned into an owl. I turned into like a whole bunch of animals. That's what I'm wondering. Oh, somebody wrote this for their mom or grandma. Hold on a second. Happy motherfucking congratulations on getting a new job. I was about to start singing happy birthday. Congratulations, motherfucker, for getting a new goddamn job. 9 to 5 for the rest of your life till you die, baby. Oh, But yeah, no, congrats. Oh, fuck. But yeah, I just finished showing some credits right now. I just got like 2 more achievements. Let me see. Oop. Oh, yeah, I got 2 out of 10. Oh, no, wait. So I guess I unlocked 3? Not sure. It just gave me another one. It was like, oh, you saw this person's name in the credits. I was like, what? But yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll play Guardians of the Galaxy at some point. Huh? Well, you're gonna have to, at some point, you're gonna be like, what am I gonna play? And it's on, what's it called? Yeah. Yeah, but are they all worth playing? There you go. Guardians of the Galaxy is one worth playing. Well, how about, did you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Really? So I unlocked 3 achievements. But yeah. So you thought they were okay? Did you guys watch the new Doctor Strange movie or no? The replay a story option is now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. Yeah. I told you it was like a short game. I think now this is basically where if I wanted to try to get all the achievements, like I could. Okay. Yeah. It like tells me I unlocked 2, but I really unlocked 3. Well, because there's 10 of them, and they're each 100. So, like, for example, there's a part where you can go by the pool table. It says if you knock all the balls off the pool table, you get 100. Or when you're in the bathtub as the little baby, if you knock all the letters off of the side. Or if you take a picture of the rabbit, then I guess you get 100. Fuck it. Yeah. That's what she said. What?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. think he saw things the rest of us don't.
What's up with you?
Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. So much of Calvin.
What?
Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw. It sure made him happy. Silly it sounds. I worried about a baby being too happy. I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
What?
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Hmm?
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Hmm. Well, can delete that game. I tried to get that achievement, but it didn't give it to me. Yeah, I think I actually have him on my friends list from like a long time ago. Back when he used to I guess we played Gears of War or like something like a long time ago. Isn't his name just like Munez or something like that? Or wait, hold on. How does he spell it? Oh, yeah, that's right. 'Cause, yeah, it says Robert Muniz. Yeah, last seen 3 days ago. Xbox app. Yeah, I guess I have him from like back in the Xbox 360 days or something. Like, you know. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that's where, because I don't know when else I would have added him. You know? Like, maybe we were, because I've had the same account. I think I changed my name once. But, yeah, I've had, like, the same account. I guess there's this new game called Fall Guys. Have you heard of that? Fall Guys. It's free now, anyways. It's like a multiplayer game, kind of like, you know those TV shows where they like Wipeout? Like where the people, it's like an obstacle course, and they have to like, you see how far they can get. Yeah, I guess it's no, not like that one. It's sort of like it's more of like Goofy, if that makes sense, because it's like obstacle courses, but everything is like padded, and there'll be like little punching bag things that'll like come out of the wall, and like you know, and then there'll be like things that flip people around, but they're like trying to get past it, and it's like Ninja Warrior, but like it's not easy, but it's like they're like over water because they like basically get flopped around, like if they get hit by one of the things. So it's kind of like that, but you're like this little blob character kind of, and you're against like 100 other people. They just made it free for everybody, and it's cross-play. It used to only be on PlayStation, I think, and maybe the PC, I'm not sure, but they just made it for like Xbox and Nintendo Switch for free. And you're basically just like one little kind of blobby dude, like a jelly bean looking guy with arms, and you can like decorate them to, you know, there's like a battle pass where you can like unlock different outfits. Like they just made it where you can there's like some Halo Master Chief outfits. And what else is there? There's but yeah, it's like an obstacle course. There'll be like moving platforms, and people can run into you, and you basically just try to make it to the end. And there's like 100 of you, and if you fall off, you lose. But then if you make it, you have to be in like the certain percentage of people who cross the finish line. But yeah, that game that I just played was interesting. There's a few other games. I'm trying to just play some games and like delete, you know, delete it off my hard drive. Because I basically went and I picked a bunch of games from Game Pass. Maneater was kind of fun. Did you ever play that? Where you're the shark? It's called Maneater. I played that on the Switch. Maneater, you're like a shark. Hellblade was pretty cool, actually. That was a very interesting. It's like they just kind of throw you in the game. I basically had to use what's it called? Some online guides, because some of it was like, oh, I didn't download this game. Have you been downloading your games of the month that they do every month for free? When you have Xbox Live and Game Pass or whatever. So when you go to the Game Pass section, like if you scroll down far enough, it'll say games with gold, which I think that's how you should have it. But they do 3 games from the 1st to the 15th, and then they do 3 games from the second half of the month, usually. And you can basically just download them, or like if you don't download them, you can just like purchase them, but they're like free, they're $0. So they'll basically just be in your library, like, and you can download them later if you want. Far Cry 5 is coming. What? Yeah. They're not that cool this time, if I have to say so. I did want to play Far Cry 5 if it's free. I guess I can finally try it out. Yeah, so they do it like twice a month. Even PlayStation does it, but PlayStation just does 3 games once a month. But the games that PlayStation gives away are a little, like, more expensive. Xbox, it kind of varies. Like right now, they have a game called Avon Colony, or Avon Colony. It's probably like Roller Coaster Tycoon or Civilization or something. Project High Rise, which is probably just another, like Civilization game. And then they have this game for 360 called Rascals. I'm not sure. It says it's a platforming game. Jump, fall, swim, and bash your way through a massive variety of levels. Enjoy every inch of the rich Rascals world. I usually just get them anyways. Sometimes they're good. Like one of the times it was Resident Evil, like the remake. So that was a good one to get. Even though I have it, but it's just like I could just download it if I want. Let me see if they talked about the next one. Ooh, July. Do they have it yet? Oh, hell yeah. So, I don't know if I already have it, but next month, just for an example, at least I think it's next month. Oh, July 2021. So I should already have that game then. They gave away the Conquer Live and Reloaded last year, I guess. In July. I'm trying to see. I was like, I thought I have it. Oh, I do have it. Yeah, it's like the Xbox game, but you were able to download it and like play it. They went through and they got that one from the Rare Replay, I think. Oh, the nuts and bolts, yeah. Well, I mean, it was like the arcade, yeah. You could like download it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But on Xbox 360, they used to have arcade games. Like they used to call it Xbox Arcade. And it was like games like that. So, for example, they made like some South Park games, a Ninja Turtles games. They weren't all like arcade games, but yeah, they did upgrade the graphics. So yeah, this doesn't really make sense. Is this really what they are? Here, oh, okay, these are predictions. I was like, no, that's stupid. So they haven't announced the games with gold for next month yet. This one, I think they were okay this month. It was, yeah, they're not that great. It was Meat Boy, Rascals, Avon Colony, and then this High Rise game. Like, they weren't very good. Yeah, it's like a platformer, but you're like this little thing of meat, and you basically just have to jump around all these like razors on the walls or something. I've seen people speed run it. I just was never really into it. I still like claimed it because I was like, guess you never know, but. But yeah, Hellblade was pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's Assassin's Creed Origins was pretty good. The Batman Arkham Knight was pretty good. Battletoads was alright. Batman? Oh. Well, if you like hard games, I would recommend checking out this game called Death's Door. It's kind of like that game that you were playing, where it's like you know how you said you like Elden Ring and this. What are the other ones? You said Robert liked The Witcher, but what were the one? Dark Souls or something like that? Well, you should check out Death's Door. It's like you're like this little crow with a sword, and there is a story. It was pretty good, but it's just like really hard boss fights. Like you have to do a lot of dodging, and it's like an above. I mean, I don't know if you remember it, but Death's Door, like it was actually like pretty good. But I remember like playing it, and I was like, man, this game is freaking hard. Because you basically only have like 3 hits, like pretty much the entire game. And you got to like fight these bosses and like it's like dungeons, but it was pretty good. Like the story and the gameplay was pretty tough. People compared it to like a somewhat easier, Elden Ring or Dark Souls or whatever it's called. But I thought it was pretty hard. Death's Door? Yeah, that's pretty good. You would probably like it, I would think, if I had to guess, based on if you like those kind of games. Or if you like Elden Ring. I don't know. Let me see what else. Yeah. I don't think it's that long, the other one, but I think it's like maybe 8 hours, 6, 7. Depends on how well you do against the bosses. Death's Door. Yeah, it's not like as long as those games, but the art style was really cool. And it was a pretty interesting story. You're like a crow that you basically need to find death. You like work for death. And there's these like beings that like live forever, but they keep like it's kind of hard to explain, but it was a pretty good story. Hellblade was pretty cool. Had a pretty good gameplay, in my opinion, actually. You were like what's that? You were like a Viking. It was a Viking girl. It was a pretty good game. What else was pretty good? I've heard good things about Life is Strange, but that's kind of like a storytelling game. Final Fantasy games, I'm sure you've... Guardians of the Galaxy is good. Avengers was pretty good, but Guardians of the Galaxy is better. Avengers is kind of like missions, and I don't know, it kind of got boring. The story was alright, though, I guess. Ninja Gaiden, you got all those games, I guess. Octopath Traveler, that's an RPG. I didn't know that was on here. That game got pretty good reviews. Oh yeah, Plague's Tale. I need to play that one because the next one's coming out. Rare Replay, I guess, had Conker's Live and Reloaded on it. That's probably how they were able to make it work for the Xbox One. Sea of Thieves. I don't know if you'd like that. Well, I mean, I'm just looking at some that I've played and some that I know about, just to kind of be like, oh, maybe you would like this game. Tetris. 12 minutes was okay. And they have all these Walking Dead games, which they're cool. They're like story games where you get to like pick what happens. I don't know if you ever played any of those. Where you got to like decide who dies and things like that. But it's not really like gameplay. It's more of just like you're kind of just like watching it's like an interactive show, kind of. The Walking Dead, but it's the Walking Dead Telltale series or something. This game looks interesting. Naraka Blade Point is a 60-player PvP mythical action combat experience with martial arts and styled melee combat, gravity-defying mobility, vast arsenals of melee and ranged weapons, legendary customizable heroes with epic abilities. I mean, the pictures just look pretty... Like, I don't really get it. It's like player versus player, but it's like martial arts. It's like 60 players against each other. But it's a PvP, so it's like you versus other players. But is it like Fortnite or one of those games where You're like, well, that's no. Fortnite's a battle royale, though. Now that I'm thinking about it, that just says it's PvP. Mm-hmm. Well, the battle royale is because even StarCraft was player versus player, unless you played the story mode. Mm. That is a lot of people. Wow, that's a nice weapon. So basically, because I have like, basically like, you know, all the systems or whatever. Like if one of the like Xbox